We'll be starting from the beginning, is it?
Yeah, you can see now.
हाँ सही है.
Cool. Take care. Now other people, please, they can. Chalo, who will start reading? Krishna. Vikas. Who's able to see it?
Prabhuji,
Yes,
I can see.
able to see it.
Yeah, start reading. Read clearly. Okay. Start. Who is reading?
We're starting from the beginning, is it?
Yeah. Pallavi, you can read it?
No, then I have to get the book actually.
No, okay.
I can't see. I can't see.
Gaurav, you can see?
Yes, sir, I can see, sir.
Yeah, chalo, start. Let us not delay.
Advent of Lord Krishna. Once the world was overburdened by the unnecessary defense force of different kings, who were actually demons, but were posing themselves as the royal order. At that time, the whole world became perturbed, and the predominating deity of this earth, known as Bhumi, went to see Lord Brahma to tell of her calamities due to the demoniac kings. Bhumi assumed the shape of a cow and presented herself before Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. She was bereaved and was weeping just to invoke the Lord's compassion. She related the position of the earth, and after hearing this, Lord Brahma became much aggrieved, and he at once started for the ocean of milk, where Lord Vishnu resides. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all demigods headed by Lord Shiva, and Bhumi also followed. Arriving on the shore of the milk ocean, Lord Brahma began to pacify the Lord Vishnu, who so, okay, yeah, began to pacify.
Yeah, locate it again.
Yeah, we pacify Lord Vishnu, who formerly saved the Earth planet by assuming the transcendental form of a boar. In the Vedic mantras, there is a particular type of prayer called Purusha Shukta. Generally, the demigods offer their obeisances unto Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting the Purusha Sukta. It is understood herein that the predominating deity of every planet can see the Supreme Lord of this universe, Brahma, whenever there is some disturbance in this planet, and Brahma can approach the Supreme Lord Vishnu not by seeing him directly, but by standing on the shore of the ocean of the milk. There is a planet within the universe called Shvetadvipa, and on that planet there is an ocean of milk. It is understood from various Vedic literatures that just as there is the ocean of salt within this planet, there are various kinds of oceans in other planets. Somewhere there is an ocean of milk, somewhere there is an ocean of oil, and somewhere there is an ocean of liquor, and many types of oceans. Purusha Shukta is the standard prayer which the demigods recite to appease the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So next.
Okay, now let us discuss this much. Nupur is trying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What I can do is that we can make it more days so that other people can also participate, correct? Preeti's your friend has not come today. Hare Krishna, Rohan.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Where are you? We're seeing you after such a long time. Okay. Hi, take care. So now let us go back to this. Let us start. Go back to the beginning. See, we understand this much. Our word of over unnecessarily different forces of different kings, but opposing themselves. So therefore, this is very much important. Whatever responsibility we are taking, we are qualified for it. You know or not know, So people will be in great trouble when you're not qualified. Correct? All of us like to take big responsibility. But if you are not qualified, you're going to cause a lot of trouble. And this is what is happening. What is happening? Posing themselves as the royal order. Posing. You know, anybody in Kali Yuga, it is said, give him any post, he thinks he's qualified for that. Just like take typical politicians. Oh, background sound is there. Manoj, take care of the background sound. Okay. You make anybody. So we have the posing. There's the example of like there's some people in India, they think they're prime minister. They're not like take a lower post. Like the Deve Gowda, he will not go for anything less. Because he became prime minister a few days, he thinks he's the prime minister. He will not go for chief minister. The same way, it is like that. People are not ready. But sometimes when you're not qualified and take a high post, we think we are qualified, but it may not be the reality. And this causes disturbance. The whole world will become portable, correct? Because you take a responsibility, then you have to deliver the goods. You say, I'm the policeman. Then you have to deliver the goods. You have to give protection to the society. You say, I'm Brahmana. Then you have to give spiritual knowledge to people. And you have to live a very pure life. You say, a Vaishya. Then you have to do economic development. Simply taking a post will not help. So that is what happens in society today. And therefore, Kali Yuga is also very, very overburdened. Okay. A predominating deity of the earth known as Bhumi, seeing the disturbance, what she did? This is reference 5,000 years ago. Similar thing happened. All the demons have taken so much force and they're disturbing everybody. And then she appeared. And she took form of a cow. She has taken form of a cow, one more pastime. Pallavi, which was the pastime? Anybody remembers? She took form of the cow. When? Somebody attacked her. Wanted to kill her. Yes.
Kali Purusha was. Hare Krishna, sir.
Yeah.
But Kali Purusha was hitting the bull, right? A cow and bull together.
There was Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, when he became the king, he's the incarnation of God, so there was not much food. So he thought the earth is not giving food to the citizens, was starving. So he took the bow and attacked the Bhumi. I'll kill you, feed my citizens. Bhudevi ran in the shape of a cow. And that is also another time she took shape of a cow.
Yes.
You remember, Pallavi?
Yeah, I said, but I think I went in the mute mode. It's okay.
I said, yeah, that Manoj is taking charge. He's seeing any sound coming in the background, putting it. She said the situation, and Prabhupada said that the nature of a great person. When he is in problem, he goes to the authority. And always authority is there. We don't go. At least open your heart to the deities, to the holy name, to the Acharya and pray. But don't leave it at your level. Correct? Actually, everybody should be blissful and happy. It's the God's kingdom. Why somebody should be in difficulty? Why we are in difficulty? Arjuna was in difficulty. He opened his heart to Krishna. He's giving an example. We need to go and open our heart to Krishna. You cannot say Krishna is not there. Krishna is there. What do you say? Krishna is not there. Krishna is always there. You can open your heart to Acharya. You can open your heart to Elder Vaishnavas. Say, what do I do? Why you want to stay in difficulty? Just like, what is an example? You are sick and you don't go to a doctor. And that's your problem. You should take advice of the doctor and be healthy. Why you want to be sick? So you see, Bhumi has a problem, but she is not sitting with it. Immediately ran to Brahma. And you see how much she cares. Bhudevi is also referred to as one of the wives of the Lord in some places. And she is, in such a difficulty. And she is, what to do? Can't see the suffering of the people. Crazy people have become kings and people are suffering. Just like suppose you go to Iraq, Syria, you will see people are suffering like this. What's happening? And if you can, you will go. If you are there, you approach the Lord, my Lord, can you do something? I can't see their suffering. So that's why the Bhumi has gone out of compassion. Okay? And she was trying to bring the compassion of the Lord, Brahma now. Can you do something? I can't see the suffering going on. And then Brahma understands the situation and he feels it is beyond his position. He cannot do it. So what he does? He himself says, let us go to the Supreme Lord. So he's not keeping it to him. There is a problem, but don't keep it to yourself. Pray to the Lord directly. And if Lord feels, he will give faith in you, whom to approach, who naturally, happily, you can take shelter. Brahma was accompanied by all the demigods headed by Lord Shiva, and Bhumi also followed. Arriving at the shore of the Milk Ocean, what happened then? Lord Brahma began to pacify the Lord Vishnu, formally saved the Earth planet. Correct? This was another time when Brahma saw the Earth being, who had thrown the Earth to the bottom of Garbhodaka? Hiranyaksha. And then what happened? Yeah, somehow it has come out of orbit, Prabhupada says, because of his, too much drilling activity. Prabhupada says it is very dangerous what we are doing today. Just like, we are doing so many activities, Earth is heating up. Similarly, it's too much drilling the Earth. We don't know what it will do. He was digging for gold left, right, center, and Earth fell from the orbit. We do not know how it is in that position it is. We hardly have little knowledge. If play around, the Earth will go from its place, at least bottom of Garbhodaka ocean. That's what happened actually. And then Lord Varaha lifted it up and put it, and the demon Hiranyaksha he killed. Okay. That's in the form of the More Varaha Avatara. Oh, what happened? 4 people went out. You notice?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Vikas, Rohan, Bhavagrahi, Prabhu.
Oh, they come back. Hare Krishna. In the Vedic Mata, there is a particular type of prayer called Purush Shukta. Generally, the demigods. Okay. We did first page. And then the second page. Okay. Bhumi also, right? Okay. Whether the Purush Shukta. Purush Shukta is the prayers Prabhupada said sometimes we can remember. Festivals we can sing. Anybody knows the Purush Shukta prayer here? Vandana, you know?
Is it the Govindam Adi Purusham prayer?
Huh?
That Govindam Adi Purusham that we read entire during Abhisheka?
No. Purush Shukta is different. Okay. That Preeti is out. Purushutta, okay. Full now. Oh, people are going in and out. Okay. Generally, the demigod offer obeisances unto Lord Vishnu, Supreme Personality. I can see the Lord of the Universe, Brahma. Yes, the Brahma is the chief in charge. They can go to Brahma, report to Brahma, and Brahma can approve. What does the Brahma do? He goes to the shore of the ocean, Milk Ocean, and he goes to Svetadipa, ocean of milk, and then he offers his prayer. He will not be able to see the Lord. He goes to Svetadipa because Kshirodaksha Vishnu has a planet where he lies. The Lord has 3 forms for managing the universe. What are they? Mahavishnu, then
Kshirodaksha Vishnu and Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Correct. Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu has a planet also, and it resides in everybody's
heart.
Okay, so that is the. Now what can I do? Preeti is after us. I want to come in. She should just use the link.
रोहन
हाँ
Muting my.
तुम सर को म्यूट कर देना.
Oh, sorry.
क्या चल रहा है politics? It is understood various ways. It is just like there is ocean of salt water. There is various oceans are there. Okay. Some people are interested. There is ocean of liquor also, and ocean of oil, many other type of ocean. Purush Shukta is the standard prayer the demigod recites. Okay, this. So now anybody wants to comment on this? Preeti is not there today. Or you are with the child now?
Yeah. But
Yes.
I'm thinking where is Lord Shiva in the picture? Because he's also in charge of the material things, no?
Correct. So why didn't he go to Shiva? Huh? Because he understood the situation requires Vishnu.
Okay.
But generally, Shiva is son of Brahma. Correct?
Yes.
Shiva is son of Brahma. So, he has.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comment?
Hello.
Next time, somebody can host it. My time goes typing there. Email and be careful, and if you go out, you are not able to come in. Hare Krishna. Chalo. This is done. Now let us just focus. Okay. Because the lying in Asia Shira Daksha is the Supreme Personality Godhead, through him all the incarnate in the universe appear. Yeah, who is able to read it very clearly? Bhavagrai, Manoj, you are able to see, no? Clearly. You can read one page, and then we just read this page.
Hello?
Quiet. Chup raho.
Just
Suno
start.
na, chup.
Manoj, you are muted.
Hello?
Manoj, you are muted.
Huh?
Sir, I can read, sir.
He's reading. Chalo, you read.
Kshirodakshay Vishnu, because he is lying on the ocean of milk, he is called Kshirodakshay Vishnu. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through whom all the incarnations within this universe appear. After all, the demigods offered the Purusha Shukha prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They apparently heard no response. Then Lord Brahma personally sat in meditation, and there was a message transmission from Lord Vishnu to Lord Brahma. Brahma then broadcast the message to the demigods. That is the system of receiving Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is received first by Brahma from the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the heart. As stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hrida, the transcendental knowledge of the Vedas was transmitted to Lord Brahma through the heart. Here also, in the same way, only Brahma could understand the message transmitted by Lord Vishnu, and he broadcast it to the demigods for their immediate action. The message was, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear on the earth very soon, along with the supreme powerful potencies. And as long as he remains on the earth planet to execute his mission of annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees, the demigods should also remain there to assist him. They should all immediately take birth in the family of the Yadu dynasty, wherein the Lord will also appear in the due course of time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, himself, Krishna, personally appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Before he appeared, all the demigods along with their wives.
Chalo, this much page let us do. Okay?
Okay.
His name is Kshirodakshay Vishnu. The reason is given because it lies in the ocean of milk. Shira. I think in South India we call it Shira, no? The sweet rice. Milk preparation, Shira. Because that is understood, Kshirodakshay. Purushokta prayer, they apparently
Yes,
had
sir.
no response. Yeah. So it's not so cheap to see the Lord. Even the Devatas can't take his darshan. They offer prayers and they just stand in respect. And we take it for granted. Correct? We think we go to the deity, we think, yeah, Lord is listening to me. Even Devatas are speaking prayer and Lord is not giving any attention. So it's not so cheap. You understand that how he is worshipable even for the Devatas. So what is our position? And they heard no response. So to get response from Krishna is not so easy. Okay? It's not so easy to speak to Krishna. You should qualify. And then Brahma, he sat in meditation, is very dear to the Lord. And then Brahma got the message in the heart. Okay, that's a system. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. Therefore, the Prabhupada quoted this. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. Okay. Same way Brahma could understand the message. Message was this. What is the message? Supreme Personality Godhead. Rohan, read it again, the message.
The message is the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear on the earth very soon, along with his supreme powerful potencies. And as long as he remains on the earth planet to execute his mission of annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees, the demigod should also remain there to assist him. They should all immediately take birth in the family of the Yadu dynasty, wherein the Lord will also appear in due course of time.
Okay, you see this. Okay, immediately take birth in the Yadu dynasty, Lord will also appear in due course of time. So this is very soon with all his potency. This is the message. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, personally appear. So this much is clear. Anybody, any comment? Manoj, Gaurav, Bhavagrahi. Anybody has to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. Continue. Who will speak now? Hello. Personally appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Now who? Manoj, you can read, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Krishna, personally appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Before he appeared, all the demigods, along with their wives, appeared in. Prabhuji, are we going to the next page?
Yeah, we are going.
In different pious families in the world just to assist the Lord in executing his mission. The exact word used here is Tatpriyartham, which means the demigod should appear on the earth in order to please the Lord. In other words, any living entity who lives only to satisfy the Lord is a demigod. The demigods were further informed that the plenary portion of Lord Krishna Ananta, who is maintaining the universal planets by extending his millions of hoods, would also appear on earth before Lord Krishna's appearance. They were also informed that the external potency of Vishnu Maya, with whom all the conditioned souls are enamored, would also appear just to execute the purpose of the Supreme Lord. After instructing and pacifying all the demigods, as well as Bhumi, with sweet words, Lord Brahma, the father of all Prajapatis, or progenitors of universal population, departed for his own abode, the highest material planet called Brahmaloka. The leader of the Yadu dynasty, King Surasena, was ruling over the country known as Mathura, the district of Mathura, as well as the district known as Surasena. On account of the rule of King Surasena, Mathura became the capital city of all the kings of the Yadus. Mathura was also made the capital of kings of Yadu dynasty because the Yadus were a very pious family and knew that Mathura is the place where Lord Sri Krishna lives eternally, just as he also lives in Dwarka. Once upon a time, Vasudeva, the son of Surasena, just after marrying Devki, was going home on his chariot with his newly wedded wife, the father of Devki, known as Devka.
Okay, we still don't finish. Devaki, no, Devaka.
Devka.
I contributed a second diary. Just wait here. Let's see this page is understood. Okay, so this is starting from here. Son of Vasudeva, before it appeared, all the devatas have come. Scene is being set, just like in a movie, a hero comes, what happens? The whole scene is set. I'm getting ready. Hero appears, they have various kind of appearances of hero. All the devatas are coming because many have to play the part of his elders. So they're all getting ready to participate in the pastime. And Prabhupada uses the word tat priyartham. That is the definition of the devatas. Means any living entity who lives only to satisfy the Lord is demigod. And any living entity who satisfies all senses is demon. That is our position. Okay. Actually, this is going in a YouTube channel live. So they have figured out. See, the discussion is going on our hangout. Figured out. Anything we can do to satisfy the Lord is demigod. What we can do is that actually we can do different books, different days. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Again, many people are disappearing. Universal planet by extending millions also appears on earth before Lord Krishna's appearance. Okay. Ananta came as Balaram.
Balram.
And who else came?
Who is calling? Pallavi.
Just I can't. I'm going crazy. Who else came? They should know just to click there.
Why are you muting?
Everyone is muting everybody. With Brahma, father of Prajapati, is departed. Okay. So this is a very nice definition. Those who live for satisfaction of the Lord are devatas. Okay. And now the story starts. Krishna book starts here. The leader of the Yadu dynasty, Shurasena. Okay. And Mathura became the capital city. Who's why? Because the reason is very pious and they know Krishna will come here. So they made Mathura their headquarters. Then this is the scene started for Krishna's birth. Vasudeva, after marrying Devaki, was going home in the chariot to newly wedded wife. I think everybody knows it. Father name of Devaki gave a sufficient dowry. Dowry was a system previously. Okay. Chalo. Basically, not like today, what happens is the girl inherits the father's share. So as far as I can understand previously, the dowry was the way they used to get some gift from the father. Not like people are harassed like today. So it's given out of love to the daughter. She's going to another home. So sufficiently father used to give what he can give. Okay. Yes, Pallavi. Hare Krishna, Pallavi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hey, how do you justify the dowry? He is getting dowry.
Huh?
Dowry.
The thing is, can you hear me?
Yeah, we all can hear.
No, the system was that the daughter's share of property will be given to her at the time of
Yes.
marriage, and since she cannot own it on herself, so it will be given to the family, I think.
Yeah. And now both they want it. Now they want both.
Yeah, so now the system is deteriorated, and these things I have read about. Now the system.
So let us go ahead. Dowry, small analysis. Now we have so many other things to come.
And no, it is also said that it is. Prabhupada says that it is compulsory also. But he also says that now the system is degraded, and because the only thing that is remaining is greed.
There is this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, sir, and it's called Desire Tree 3.22.23.
What does it say?
Shatarupa Maharagi Pari Barhan Mahadhanan Dampatyo Paryadat Pritiya Bhusha Vasaha Parichandan. So it's written, translation is Empress Shatarupa lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, and household articles, and dowry to the bride and bridegroom. And the purport is quite long, but it's short. I'll just read it. So Prabhupada says the custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of the father of the bride. Pari Bharan Mahadhanan. means the dowry which must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here, Mahadhanan means greatly valuable gift befitting the dowry of an empress. The words Bhusha, Vasa, Parichadan also appears here. Bhusha means ornaments, Vasa means clothes, and Parichadan means various household articles. All these befitting the marriage ceremony of her emperor's daughters were awarded to the Kardama Muni, who were until now observing celibacy as brahmachari. The bride Devahoti was richly dressed in ornaments, with ornaments and clothing. And it continues. Should I read it?
Chalo. So we got some reference. The bride was, this is part of the system. And Pallavi has said that there was not system that son used to inherit the property, so that the girl was compensated by dowry. Okay, and it is given out of affection. Okay, chalo, happily given. See, he was very. Why did he give? Because he was very affectionate towards the. He gave out of love as a gift. Yes. Now, who will read? Next person. Bhavagrai, you are able to read. No.
He's mute, I think.
Bhavagrai, you are muted. Manoj has read.
Vikas, sir.
Very Vikas.
Yes, sir.
You can read.
Yes, sir. He had contributed hundreds of chariots. He had contributed completely decorated with gold. At that time, Kamsha, the son of Ugrasena, in order to please his sister Devaki, literally taken the reins of the horses chariot and was driving. According to the custom of Vedic civilization, when a girl is married, the brother takes the sister and brother-in-law to their home, because the newly married girl may feel too much separation from her father's family. The brother goes with her until she reaches her father-in-law house. And the full dowry contributed by Devika was as follows: 400 elephants fully decorated with golden garlands, 15,000 decorated horses, and 1,800 chariots. He also arranged for 200 beautiful girls to follow his daughter. The Kshatriya system of marriage, still current in India, dictates that when a Kshatriya is married, a few dozen of the bride's young girlfriends, in addition to the bride, go to the house of the king. The followers of the queen are called maid servants, but actually they act as friend of the queen. This practice is prevalent from time immemorial, traceable at least to the time before the advent of Lord Krishna, 5,000 years ago. So Vasudev brought home to another 200 beautiful girls along with his wife. While the bride and bridegrooms were passing along on the chariot, there were different kinds of musical instruments played.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, what is the dowry? Let us discuss. 400 elephants. I remember once we were in the ISKCON Bangalore temple. ठीक है वीडियो पे YouTube में चल रहा है वीडियो ठीक okay इनका some discussion. So 400 elephants. You know, there was one person who wanted to donate an elephant, and he said that you know, the temple that came to said maintaining an elephant is like not an easy thing. People are scared actually. Suppose somebody wants to donate you an elephant, are you ready? You're not ready. It's not easy. And then there are golden garlands, not on an elephant. Imagine you want to give a golden garland to an elephant. What is the cost? Today on the wife, they cannot put a small garland, and golden garland for an elephant. I mean, how expensive it is. 15,000 decorated horses, 1,800 chariots. These are all, you know, things which are not so much involve Ugra Karma. Today we have certain things, but there is so much Ugra Karma to get it, so much difficulty. You have to have industries and blah blah. But these are all things which are not like making a chariot. There is some effort, but not much. Okay. And then he arranged for 200 beautiful girls to follow his daughter. Okay. These are the mates which will follow. That's the system. The girls are more in number, so they were also given protection as maid, but not as, you know, there is a discussion that is this system same as the slave trade system? No. Prabhupada explains it is not the same system. There was total care and affection. Not, they were treated as part of the house. I don't know whether we have, sometimes we have servant in the house. He's treated as part of the house. He's maintained. In India, many people have that. They have some housemaid or a man. He's totally taken care of as member of the house, in the sense his medical requirement and maintenance is totally taken care of. So there are some people who need that kind of care. ठीक है, still dictator. Kshatriya is married few dozen brides, young girlfriends. ठीक है, they go to the house. So then we can understand this. ठीक है, don't understand it like a slave system where there is a torture and exploitation. No, it's not a torture and exploitation. This is totally taken care as one member of the house. Like, you know, Vidura. Vidura also was Dasiputra. But was there any exploitation? No, he was taken care. In fact, he was given a lot of wealth and attention also, and he was by Dhritarashtra. So it's not the system that people imagine it was. But some people are not able to maintain themselves. So they go to somebody, say, can I do some work in your house? And he's taken care. He does some service, but he is maintained well. And he is given affection. But he does not inherit the property, that's all. But otherwise, he is given all care and affection. Okay? See, the Prabhupada said, but actually they are the friends of the queen. They act as friends of the king and they maintain with the king. Prabhupada said it is, to some extent, it was prevalent for some time. I think now it is not there. So Vasudeva brought home another 200 beautiful girls. Okay. For passing the chariot, there was different kind of musical instrument to indicate auspicious. Music has always been there. Conch shell, bugles, drums, cattle drums, vibrating a nice gun. So procession of passing very pleasingly, and Kamsa was driving the chariot, but suddenly there was a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky, which repeatedly announced to Kamsa, Kamsa, you are such a fool, you're driving the chariot. Somebody is going to read now. Who's going to read? Preeti, Pallavi, now today you would like to comment on something. Is it fine, my analysis of the maidservant?
Yeah, I have not read about it. Yes, of course.
Yeah, it is not like what we call the slave. Now, that is not the slave. Vasudeva is a noble person. He is not going to torture anyone. Prabhupada, they were the friends of the queen. Correct? The friends of the queen. And they are taken care by the king. Basically, what I can understand, a lot of brahmacharis at that time. So many girls are not married. So this was the system. They were taken care. So, okay. So there was a musical instrument. The whole scene is set for the, Akashvani is going to come now. You all know. The conch shell bugles, the procession of passing very pleasingly. And Kamsa, is he the direct brother or he is a cousin brother of Devaki? Anybody knows?
Cousin.
Huh?
Cousin brother?
Yeah, he's a cousin. He's not direct brother. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chalo, somebody speak something. I have to do some work here. Can anybody speak something on that? Pallavi?
Actually, I got disconnected just now. So where
now,
were you?
now you are in now. We can hear you.
So we were in. She's disturbing me. Actually.
Hello, no problem. She also wants to say, "Mujhe bhi baat karni hai." I also want to be part of this group discussion.
Yeah, she's disturbing me, so I think somebody else can.
Yeah. Chalo.
We'll continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, I hope that is fine because this is a controversial subject. So I just clarified that this is the maidservant is not that. Okay. Now there was a sound. Now who's going to read? Who's going to read now? Yes. Rohan has read. Who rotation? Gaurav, your turn then.
Yes, sir. So, okay, when suddenly there was a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky, which especially announced to Kamsa, Kamsa, you are such a fool. You are driving the chariot of your sister and your brother-in-law, but you do not know that the eighth child of this sister will kill you. Kamsa was the son of Ugraksena of the Bhoja dynasty. It is said that Kamsa was the most demonic of all the Bhoja dynastic kings. Immediately after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he caught hold of Devaki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword. Vasudev was astonished at Kamsa's behavior, and in order to pacify the cruel, shameless brother in law, he began to speak as follows with great reason and evidence. He said, "My dear brother in law Kamsa, you are the most famous king of the Bhoja dynasty, and people know that you are the greatest warrior and valiant king. How is it that you are so infuriated that you are prepared to kill a woman who is your own sister at this auspicious time of her marriage? Why should you be so much afraid of death? Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took your birth, you began to die. Suppose you are 25 years old, that means you have already died 25 years. Every moment, every second, you are dying. Why then should you be so much afraid of death? Final death is inevitable. You may die either today or in 100 years. You cannot avoid death. Why should you be so much afraid? Actually, death means annihilation of the present body. As soon as the present body stops functioning and mixes with the five elements of material nature, the living entity within the body. So
Yeah.
next.
So let us discuss this much now.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Kamsa, you are such a fool. You're driving the chariot of your sister and your brother-in-law, but you do not know the eighth child of the sister will kill you. You know, interesting. Not know. This is a message from the heaven, Akashvani. Okay, and this is generally
Akashvani.
people are there when something comes against them, they take it as so serious, get very upset because everybody is looking for a victim in this world to enjoy. Prabhupada says very nicely, are all searching in this world for a victim. सब लोग रोड में घूम रहे हैं किसी victim को पकड़ने. And now Kamsa is typical materialist, and now he sees the situation is very strange. That is sense gratification is obstructed, and his own sister, decides to kill just to protect. I remember there was one house I was in, and there was a call repeatedly on the phone. So the person was not lifting. I said, "What happened?" "No, this is my brother. He got kidney problem. How much time I'll give money? Enough." I said, "My God, let him die." He said, "How much money I can give? I cannot give more." So that's a situation about to, people forget even relations. Everybody is centered on his sense gratification. Therefore, he says there is no love in the material world. Love actually exists in the spiritual world. Okay. Okay. Some people are desperate. My dear brother Kamsa, you are the most famous, and the people are the greatest. So how is it possible? Yes, inferior to a woman or your sister. And then he gives a very high philosophy now starting. Why you're so much afraid of death? You can imagine the platform of Vasudeva. Here is the dilemma. Yeah, she has to just click the same link now, which we have shared so many times. Hana?
Yes, sir.
What do? I'm sending her invite, but it goes to the mail, I think. I'll write to her. Check in your mail. Who went out now? I think Preeti is out. That Preeti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a good idea. What do you say, Bhavagrahi? We can make Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, 3 days. So then people will get divided. Some people will find Friday convenient. Those are abroad, Friday is very convenient for them. In India, Saturday night is also convenient, correct? So load will divide in 3 days. You look to your birth, if you can suppose you are 25-year-old, that means you have already died 25 years. Every moment you're dying. Okay? So this is very interesting. Actually, Prabhupada says we have the birthday celebration now. So it should be sad because 1 year more you come near the death. Just like suppose exam 30 तारीख को है, तो 15 तारीख को टेंशन शुरू होती है, 16 तारीख को फिर पसीना आने लगता है, तो 17 तारीख को you are all getting this hangout calls?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you can try to add, if you know the email ID, you can try to add. You can also add. I'm trying.
How do you?
Okay.
Oh, I think Nupur Mataji is not there in the Hangouts. Have you
2,
invited
3,
her, sir?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why I'm saying I'm not able to concentrate.
No, you can
Why you should?
add-
Preeti, Pallavi. Pallavi has a child, otherwise she can. You can keep explaining. I'll just handle these two people. They are very worked up now. They're not able to come in. Pallavi?
Yes.
Yeah, you just take this. Chalo, just discuss this point. Scared of death. Yeah, what happened? Okay, so this point. Okay. Suppose you're 25-year-old. So every year, Prabhupada says something very, very interesting. He says that to die is not wonderful. To live is wonderful. You know what happens? We made an analysis that when somebody dies, what do? Oh, wow, he died, huh? We are very surprised. And when we are not surprised when we see somebody living, isn't it? Do we do? No, we are not surprised. Well, actually, it should be reversed. We are all thinking we are in the spiritual world. A big joke. All of us are thinking we are in the spiritual world. That is the reason that we get very surprised when somebody dies, because the spiritual world death doesn't occur. We had a very nice analysis recently. Pallavi, who can do this?
I have muted myself actually because my daughter is making some disturbance.
Okay. Death ka discussion karo na. There is a talk of death here. Death is the favorite area for devotees. This is on my colleague. He runs his preaching in Jaipur. His mother is not very favorable, but she is quite smart. So she tells him, अच्छा, मृत्यु बता के लोगों को डरा के उनको उनकी पैसे इकट्ठे कर लेते हो. मेरे को मालूम है तुम क्या करते हो. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You should celebrate now. Nupur Mataji is
Oh my God! Finally, I joined.
No, we were seeing on you on Hangout. All your calls. Chalo.
I know.
So there
I'm
was a
sorry to disturb you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. See what is happening now. What I will do: Friday evening, Saturday evening, Sunday evening. We'll do three evenings.
Okay.
So what will happen in that way? People will get divided.
Okay.
Sir, eco, sir.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's okay. That will be okay. So
Thank you so
is that a
much
good
for
system?
everyone.
Everybody agrees? So it will spread around little. We can have the same book being read, or we can have 3 different books being studied.
Okay.
Okay. That we can discuss at the end. Chalo. You are able to read?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm able to read.
Okay, chalo. So now the discussion is on Vasudeva. Seeing the situation, and he is actually he's seeing the situation, and I muted my mobile. I will not hear anything. Preeti and Vikas, they want to come in. But he knows. There is a place, but leave it. We will solve it by next week. We split it into 3 days. Nice. I think in America, Friday is very convenient because it's Saturday, Sunday off. Anna? Some people will find Saturday inconvenient. So we continue. We can do Bhagavatam one day. I'll say on Friday. Saturday we can do Chaturanga. So beautiful. And Sunday we can do Krishna. Is it fine?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
That will be beautiful. Okay. So the discussion on death has come now. Okay. Manoj, you take care of muting anybody causing echo. Okay. So this is death is already born from the day we take birth. Okay. So this is very interesting. So what I was saying, all of us are thinking with the spiritual world. Suppose, take an example, you go to Syria to fight and you see your friend alive tomorrow. Still alive, huh? Suppose, say, Vikas would have gone to Syria. Yeah. And then you see him after 1 week. He's still alive. You'll be surprised. You'll be so happy to see him alive. We are happy to see him alive. The same way, actually, every day we should be very shocked when you see other person alive. But we are shocked when he dies. Death is natural. Surprise should not be death. So surprise should be life. If he's living, that should be surprise, because here all of us are going to, as sure as death, all of us are going to die. So this is Vasudeva. When he sees Kamsa so scared of death, he says, why are you scared of death? Just imagine, he's not an ordinary man to get Krishna as a son. He's proving himself now. I'm qualified to have Krishna as a son. I have all the qualifications. Death is already born with your birth. The moment you're born, death is here. Okay? You Prabhupada is saying so nicely, you begin to die from the moment you are born. You begin to die. Death starts. And we are 25-year-old means 25 years, we are nearing your death. Just like we know exam, abhi to inka experience hai na, Gaurav, Rohan, exam is like a death. So exam is coming near means death is coming near. So somebody says now 10 o'clock in the night, the tension increases. We start sweating. It's like we are celebrating. So 50-year-old, what is the purpose of celebration? What is there to celebrate? Now you're more nearing death. There should be more tension. More you should start sweating actually. Therefore, Prabhupada says, now I think in that age only among you all, I am there. You're all young age. He says last 20 years of the life, you should become very, very serious. Just like we say, if the tomorrow exam is there, previous night, you should be very, very serious. You should be very serious. Every moment, every second we are dying. So we should know every moment, every second we are approaching death. But we are not in that thing. We are all thinking we're going to live eternally. That is our problem. So why should we have final death is inevitable? Anyway, we are dying. Prabhupada used to say, always live in the idea, the Mrityu Purusha is waiting outside your door. Anytime he will knock. Like any moment he will knock. Hare Krishna. Wow. He has come now. Actually, just imagine, you picturize like that. Mrityu Purusha is waiting and he put a knock on the door. And I've come. There was one very nice, funny example that somebody told God that anyway, it's fine, death is there, I know, but just give me a notice of death. So finally, what happened, heard that joke? Finally, yes. One day, death appeared in the sense he's about to die. And he complained to God, what is it? I told you to give me some notice. He said, yes, I give you enough notices. What are the notices, Gaurav?
Yeah, it was, he was growing old. He was being diseased. His teeth were falling. Gray hair, he was losing his memory. And then Yamraj said, so what do you think? I would have posted you a letter or what, literally. Given you so many notices, but now I've come as the messenger of the Lord. So
yes.
Now I'm no more your friend.
Yes. So actually death means annihilation of the present body. That's why as the present body stops functioning, the death occurs. Okay. Okay. Okay, now who can read? Nupur Mataji, you're able to read? Can you see the next page? Just read this page, beginning to end. I'll just take from here. As soon as the present body stops functioning. Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji, she is off. She can hear us? No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. As soon as the present body stops functioning and mixes with the 5 elements of material nature, the living entity within the body accepts another body according to his present action and reaction. It is just when a man walks on the street, he puts forward his foot and he is confident that his foot is situated on sound ground. He lifts another foot. In this way, one after the other, the body changes and the soul transmigrates. See how the plant worms change from one twig to another so carefully. Similarly, the living entity changes his body as soon as the higher authorities decide on his next body. As long as a living entity is conditioned within this material world, he must take material bodies one after the another. His next particular body is offered by the laws of nature according to the actions and reactions of this life. Should I continue?
Good. Continue. One more paragraph.
Okay. This body is exactly like one of the bodies which we always see in dreams. During a dream of sleep, we create so many bodies according to mental creation. We have seen gold, and so we have also seen a mountain. So in a dream, we can see golden mountain by combining the two ideas. Sometimes in dreams, we see that we have a body which is flying in the sky, and at that time, we completely forget our present body. Similarly, these bodies are changing. When you have one body, you forget the past body. During a dream, we may make contact with so many new kinds of bodies, but when we are awake, we forget them all. And actually, these material bodies are the creations of our mental activities. But at the present moment, we do not recollect our past bodies.
Creation of the mental activity present moment.
Should I continue?
Okay. No. This much we may understand. This is a different symbolism. Nupur Mataji, I'll just with you. Because you have an echo. I think you're using speakerphone, so the echo will come. Okay. So when a man walks in the street, what happens? There's one example. When you're walking, with one body to another body, he puts his foot. He's so knowledgeable. He's giving examples to understand. And another way, see, the knowledge of soul was so common. It was there in every person in the society. The spiritual knowledge, which is the most important part of knowledge. Prabhupada was in MIT, America. And there he mentions that actually, when they talked to Srila Prabhupada, they showed the whole university. And after that, said, Prabhupada, what do you come in? Prabhupada, do you have a department studies? What's the difference between a living body and a dead body? So in Professor of the Intelligence, the department of the soul. Prabhupada said, yes. He said, no, we don't have it. Then Prabhupada said, then it's all useless. No, Swamiji, every knowledge is useful. Prabhupada said, no, relatively useful. With the knowledge of soul is most important. And the joke is, every person had it. You see, how is he explaining to Kamsa? So he's showing how much he's fit to receive Krishna as a child. You want to receive Krishna, you want to relate to Krishna, you should know some spiritual knowledge. And it is realized in the situation, you look at it, he's speaking as he's confident about it. That's why they said, how could Prabhupada convince people? Because he was confident about it. True, but now hearing is Kamsa here. He could get it. But he's speaking confident. Just like we walk one step, another step. Therefore, the soul is taking one body to another body. How the plant worms take from one twig to another. Correct? The plant worm is in one leaf and then or one twig, and it goes to another twig, and then it lifts from the last twig. So similarly, one body, another body. Is given two examples. And he said, this is not on our decision. Who decides? A higher authority decides. Okay, no? The higher authorities. Karmana daiva netrena jantu deha upapatyate. Okay, so that's how it is decided. Okay. Done. Okay, one after another. The laws of nature according to the actions, reactions of this life. So we are preparing by the activities. Today we had a program at Manjula Mataji's house. I think Nupur Mataji, do you remember Manjula Mataji?
She's muted.
Vanita, you said? Vanita?
No, Dr. Manjula.
I think I remember the name, but I forgot the face.
Yeah, she was one lady with bob cut hair. She had a big nursing home.
Oh, Dr.
There was one doctor
No.
and Dr. Manjula.
Okay.
10 years now, slowly fading. Yes. Okay. If you see the picture, you'll remember.
Okay, yes, I'll
In
remember.
a congregational since you all people's time. And what happened, she used to come in a big car. Two people used to park their car. One side, one side, Manjula. We had the two entries to the temple.
Okay.
Okay. So we had a big program in our house today, and a lot of doctors she had come. I was explaining to them that actually you all write outside the clinic big degrees, MD, MBBS, RCS, so many. But actually one more you should add. He said, what? I said, ask. Because Krishna gives you that certificate. Because you don't understand. Body and soul is different. So you gotta ask. Okay. So anyway, the Prabhupada then compared this body to the body you see in dream. Manoj, during a dream of sleep, we see so many bodies. We have seen gold, we have seen mountain, we have seen therefore golden mountain. It's sometimes a dream we combine things. Okay, to the analysis of the dream. Actually, dream is a very funny thing. I'll some other day explain the dream, whatever I know. Dream is also under control of the Lord, because some experiences are given to us in the dream. Lord is constantly training his child lost in this world, through the day and also through the dream. Okay. Those bodies, that when you are in one body, you forget the past body. You can contact with so many kind of bodies. When you awake, you forget them all. They keep body, the creation, the mental body. But the present moment, we do not recollect our past bodies. Correct? In the dream, when you get up in the morning, we just remember we had some dream, but we forget. Many times we don't remember the dream. Sometimes you go back to sleep because you like the dream. And let the dream continue. Yes. Okay. Now who will read? Rohan, you're able to read? You have to unmute yourself, Rohan, and we can read.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The body is exactly. Sorry, sir. The body is exactly. Where is it? Oh, the nature of the mind is flickering. Sometimes it accepts something and immediately it rejects the same thing. Accepting and rejecting is the process of the mind in contact with the. Sorry, I have to change.
Yeah. These people are Neha Kumari and all are there on my case, and I'm trying. Yeah. There is some space now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. In contact with the 5 objects of sense gratification: form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. In its speculative way, the mind comes in touch with the objects of sense gratification, and when the living entity desires a particular type of body, he gets it. Therefore, the body is an offering by the laws of material nature. The living entity accepts a body and comes out again into the material world to enjoy or suffer according to the construction of the body. Unless we have a particular type of body, we cannot enjoy or suffer according to our mental proclivities inherited from the previous life. The particular type of body is actually offered to us according to our mental condition at the time of death.
Continue.
The luminous planets like sun, moon, or the stars reflect themselves in different types of reservoirs like water, oil, or ghee. The reflection moves according to the movement of the reservoir. The reflection of the moon is on the water, and the moving water makes the moon also appear to be moving. But actually, the moon is not moving. Similarly, by mental concoction, the living entity attains different kind of bodies. although actually he has no connection with such bodies. But on account of illusion, being enchanted by the influence of Maya, the living entities thinks that he belongs to a particular type of body. That is the way of conditioned life. Suppose a living entity is now in a human form of body. He thinks that he belongs to the human community or a particular country or a particular place. He identifies himself in that way and unnecessarily prepares for another body which is not required by him. Such desire and mental concoction are the cause of different types of.
Now, anyway, this much we take it, page after
Okay.
page. Okay, today Preeti is not there to help me. I have to, these people are on my case now, Preeti expected. So speculative mind comes in touch with this sense objects, and what happens? We had from the previous page, I think, the part of the paragraph. Nature of the mind is flickering. That's everybody, we all are very convinced of it, no doubt. Anybody has any doubt?
No.
Arjuna says, Chanchala Imana Krishna, we all know. And accepting the result, the process of the mind in contact with the five objects, this is the mind, is senses are bringing information, and mind is like a thought factory, a desire factory, full of desires. Actually, mind is material. And I was just analyzing, why does Krishna has to give us a subtle mind? It is just like Krishna gives you the gross body. Because all the injury, experience of injury happens on the gross body. It cannot happen on the spiritual body. So you have to have a body covering your spiritual body. So similarly, Krishna covers your spiritual mind also with the material mind. Because all these crazy thoughts are in the material mind. Spiritual mind is pure. It can only hold Krishna's lotus. It cannot hold anything. The core of the heart, actually, you cannot hold anything except Krishna. It's only in this crazy mind which we are, it's simulated. It looks like our mind. It's not our mind. That's why we neti process to detach ourselves first with the gross body. I am not this gross body. Then also you detach ourselves from the mind. I am not this mind. What you're thinking you are presently is generally the body or the mind, correct? Atma refers to body, mind, and soul. Very few people associate with the soul. So the material mind is needed. Why Krishna created? So that all the funny desires, they go in the material mind. The spiritual mind is always pure. It is Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakta Sadhuka Vinaya Shavanada Shuchita Karayodaya. Okay, the body is offering by the laws of living entity except the body, and then goes on. Unless a particular type body, we cannot enjoy or suffer according to the mental proclivities. Correct? You need why the different bodies are given. It is just like, suppose you're growing, not just like I'm growing fatter every day. So I need, it's easy for me because this Vaishnava dress is easy. You can, loosen the dhoti and wear it. But otherwise, you have to change the pant and shirt every day, isn't it, Gaurav?
Yes, sir.
You have to change. How many clothes you change in your college? I think you gained how much that time? 10 kilo? Hostel?
Yeah, I gained a lot, sir. I gained a lot.
Yeah. So you have to change the clothes.
In the hostel.
Yeah, you cannot wear the same clothes. You have to change the clothes. So same way our desires are changing. That is one reason the death is there. With the same dress, the body will not fit now. Your desires are changed. You need another body to fulfill those desires. So the luminous planet, the sun, moon, and star reflect in different types of reservoirs. Reflection moves according to the movement of the reservoir. Moon is on water, moving on water, make move. This is a very, very, very nice symbolism. What is the symbolism point? Is that just like a moon is reflected in water, now the reflection appear to be shaking. Is the moon shaking?
No.
So similarly, in this world with all the tamasha, we are in great anxiety, just like Kamsa is in great anxiety. Death is coming, death is coming, death is coming. Nothing happening to the soul. Same thing Arjuna, Krishna says to Arjuna, why are you so disturbed? Arjuna, my grandfather will die, my teacher will die. So Krishna, so what happened? It's just like a reflection. When you look at the reflection, you feel something is happening to the moon. Just lift your head, look at the moon, nothing is happening. So when Arjuna came to knowledge, and he fought the war because he knew nothing is going to happen to anybody in the battlefield. Soul is eternally glorious. It cannot be touched by anything. Correct? He came to a different platform of understanding. You have to lift your head. Instead of looking at the water, start looking at the moon. Beautiful symbolism, isn't it? Okay. So on account of the Maya, the reflection is on Maya. Okay. The living entity thinks he is a particular kind of body. There is the Urdhva Mula, the 15th chapter, also similar. This whole material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So he thinks he belongs to the human community. He identifies in that way. Okay? And unnecessarily, because of the identification, prepares another body. Such desires. Yeah. Who will read now? Manoj, your turn. You will read.
Yes, Prabhuji. He identifies himself in that way and unnecessarily prepares for another body which is not required by him. Such desires and mental concoctions are the cause of different types of body. The covering influence of material nature is so strong that the living entity is satisfied in whatever body he gets, and he identifies with that body with great pleasure. Therefore, I beg to request you not to be overwhelmed by the dictation of your mind and body. Vasudeva thus requested Kamsa not to be envious of his newly married sister. One should not be envious of anyone, because envy is the cause of fear both in this world and in the next, when one is before Yamraja, the Lord of punishment after death. Vasudeva appealed to Kamsa on behalf of Devaki, stating that she was his younger sister. He also appealed at an auspicious moment at the time of marriage. Younger sister or brother are supposed to be protected as one's children. The position is overall so delicate. Vasudeva reasoned that if you kill her, it will go against your high reputation. Vasudeva tried to pacify Kamsa by good instructions as well as by philosophical discrimination, but Kamsa was not to be pacified because his association was demonic. Um, because of his demonic associations, he was always a demon. Although born in a very high royal family, a demon never cares for any good instruction. He is just like a determined thief. One can give him moral instruction, but it will not be effective. Similarly, those who are demoniac or atheistic by nature can hardly assimilate any good instruction, however authorized it may be. That is the difference between demigod and demon. Those who can accept good instruction and try to live their lives in that way are called demigods, and those who are unable to take such good.
Okay, now stop here. Okay. I've tried to get Neha and Preeti again inside. Okay. वो विकास का तो phone discharge हो गया. Expected. Chalo, Rohan, these are two people are there. Yes. Okay, now let us go to the text. Pallavi is also out, I think, for the child. Another body which is not required by him. Because such desires and mental concoctions, there are different types of body. The covering as a metal nature is so strong, the living entity is satisfied with what the body gets. This is so funny. Krishna's arrangement is so perfect. You know, it is said there are two things one devotee was telling. The creation is not a real wonder. The wonder is that we identify with the creation. The wonder is that we identify with the body. One level is creating the body. Second level is we think this is the body. If he had not done that, it would not happen. So the creation was incomplete. Okay? So this is the influence of metal nature is so strong. We start identifying whatever body we get, but it's not true. So as a liberated personality, you know, Acharya is saying, look at this. Metal nature is very strong. People are totally identifying with the body. You can see we are not the body. But people, you know, see, more cooler you are, more you can see people in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, correct? And you don't react. You see somebody shouting, howling, you say, yeah, you withdraw yourself. So as an Acharya, Prabhupada can see, the people are, you know, dragged by metal energy and they're fully convinced they are the body. Isn't it? People are so convinced that they are the bodies. Metal energy is so powerful. So we see the power of metal energy. We do not see this person is crazy. We see Maya is so powerful, totally covered. True, he deserved to be covered. Just like those who are thieves and rogues, they need to be punished by the police, not a gentleman. So people who rebel against the authority of the Lord, they are covered by the Maya. Krishna bhuliya jiva. Who knows the shloka? Pallavi is not there. Who knows the shloka? Rohan, you know the shloka? Krishna bhuliya jiva.
No, sir.
Bhuliya jiva bhoga vancha kare.
Yeah. Then?
I was saying that I just typed it. Pasate maya tore japatiya dhare. So the translation is just opening it now. Dandavats. Yes, sir. So yes, sir. So Krishna is there. As soon as we forget Krishna, then there we are in Maya. It is not like there is an in-between stage. That there is Krishna or there is Maya. Maya is simply forgetful of Krishna. That is all. The sum total of Maya is to forget Krishna. So this verse from the Vishnu Puran really supports all religious principles as a foundation for executing devotional service. Never forget Krishna. When one forgets Krishna, then that forgetfulness can cause one to be overwhelmed or put into a situation which may cause one to lament even for a second.
Okay, this is clear. What is the point? Clear that the living entity is satisfied what a body gets, then Krishna bhuli achieve. Okay, moment you forget Krishna, Maya captures you. Okay, it's just like you're a criminal. You are a servant in the house and you forgot. You have a list given, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you forgot. And you're sitting. You're a criminal. You're a servant, you have supposed to do. Immediately police will come and arrest you. Why you're not doing? You're a servant. Similarly, we are all servants of Krishna. And it is our own, it's for our own good. Not that Krishna is like a cruel master of this world. You see the service done by Hanuman, it is done out of love. Never become a servant of Krishna is something inferior. It's very honor. It's an honor to serve. Prabhupada says so many times, you offer something to Krishna and he eats from your hand. What's your fortune? Can you imagine your fortune? He says, Krishna eats from your hand. Like that, such a great fortune. We should, whenever we get an opportunity, we offer something to Krishna. And if Krishna accepts it, we cannot even imagine a fortune. The Sudama example, he accepted a little thing and look at the fortune he got. So we become highly blessed when Krishna accepts our little offering. So with great devotion and humility, we should keep offering to Krishna and try to revive our love with Krishna. Okay? So never take the servant as like inferior in this world. In the spiritual world, service is done out of love. Hanuman never feels in that way. And Lord Rama never feels, oh, he's somebody to exploit. But when we try to exploit Krishna, try to imitate Krishna, we cannot give shelter. We only torture our dependents. We only harass. But Krishna gives them love. And Krishna gives so much, so much happiness. Okay. And he says, anyone because envy, now he's talking about death, previously talked about death. You see, Vasudeva more or less gave him a class on Bhagavad Gita. He tried to corner him from all angles. He gave him different angles, spiritual angle, different angles, and now he's giving one more angle to him. He's cornering him on envy. He said, envy is not a good quality. Okay? Oh, now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chalo. Should not be envious of anyone. Now, envy means, how do you say he's envious of his sister? If he's trying to kill somebody, he's envious. Definitely you're envious of the existence of the person. Because her existence is going to disturb his happiness. So you're envious. Prabhupada said, when we kill animal, we can definitely say we are envious. We are envious of the existence of animals. Why they should live? They have a right to live. So when you go to kill animals for your food, you are envious of their existence. Okay? Envy means somebody possesses something and you want to take it away. Does that find the definition of envy? So animals have a right to live. You want to take it away. That's enviousness. Now his sister has a right to live. He wants to take it away. That is envious. Okay? And he's using one more angle. He's saying, it's your sister. No, please. Don't be envious of her. It's another time. It is an auspicious time. The marriage of your sister. Okay? And you should give protection to your younger brother and sister. In many religions, they said animals are our younger brothers. Then we should enjoy. Not enjoy. We are supposed to give protection. The position is overall so delicate. He said it will go against your high reputation. He's using every, he has used spiritual angle. He said, talked about death. Then what are the different angles he's used now? He talked about death. Then what else? Manoj, what he has done till now?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So
he's talked about death. See, there's this here. He started off with a discussion of death. So don't be scared of death. Okay, and then he talked about how the body, the mind, become flickering. He talks about as water. the reflection goes. Similarly, we get disturbed. Okay. That how we reflect different bodies, and he takes a reflection is a beautiful example he takes. We are disturbed because of the mind. Soul is permanent. There is nothing going to happen to the soul, so don't be. And now he takes the basic examples of, after philosophical examples, he goes into the basic. Even is anybody can. The previous examples is not easy for any man to speak, but these examples are reasonable also. It's a marriage time, your own sister, like that way. Okay. He tried it by good instruction as well as philosophical discrimination. Then what is the result of all this? Kamsa was not pacified. Because of the bad association, proper association, you have to change, otherwise you will become a demon. Even though he's in a big royal family, he had bad company. And Prabhupada said, demon never cares for the good instruction. Like Duryodhana, so many times he's counseled, don't do all this thing. He just doesn't want to listen. So actually, Prabhupada is to say for us also, he's asking us to become a pure devotee, but we don't care for the good instructions. Chant attentively, I'll not do that. Read every day Prabhupada, I'll not do that. Don't break regulatory principles, I'll not do that. Huh? And then, whole day think how to serve Krishna, I'll not do that. We have a power to think. At any moment, we can think what we want. It's our power. Nobody can take it away. We don't want to think about Krishna. We're stubborn. So in one sense, some element of Kamsa is there in all of us. Therefore, we are not pure devotee like Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is not only instructing Kamsa, is instructing all of us. But like Kamsa, we are stubborn. We don't want to change. Yeah. And David never cares for any good instruction. He's just like a determined thief. You cannot give him any moral instruction. It will not be effective. His कान से सुना, उस कान से बाहर निकाल दिया. Similarly, those who are demonic, atheistic by nature can highly assimilate any good instruction, however authorized it may be. The difference between demigod and demon. Those who can accept good instruction, try to live their life, or demigod, unable to take, probably one more definition of demon, who cannot take good instruction is called a demon. Yeah, we read this area? No?
No, Prabhuji.
No. Whose turn to read, Amanoj? You would like to read? Yeah. Failing. Start from failing.
Okay. Failing in his attempt to pacify Kansa, Vasudeva wondered how he would protect his wife Devaki. When there is imminent danger, an intelligent person should try to avoid the dangerous position as far as possible. But if, in spite of endeavoring by all intelligence, one fails to avoid the dangerous position, there is no fault on his part. One should try his best to execute his duties, but if the attempt fails, he is not at fault. Vasudeva thought of his wife as follows: for the present, let me save the life of Devaki. Then later on, if there are children, I shall see how to save them. He further thought, if in the future I get a child who can kill Kansa, just as Kansa is thinking, then both Devaki and the child will be saved, because the law of providence is inconceivable. But now, some way or the other, let me save the life of Devaki. There is no certainty how a living entity contacts a certain type of body, just as there is no certainty how the blazing fire comes in contact with a certain type of wood in the forest. When there is forest fire, it is experienced that the blazing fire sometimes leaps over one tree and catches another by the influence of the wind. Similarly, a living entity may be very careful and fearful in the matter of executing his duties, but it is still very difficult for him to know what type of body he is going to get in the next life. Maharaja Bharata was very faithfully executing the duties of self-realization, but by chance he contacted temporary affection for a deer, and he had to accept his next life in the body of a deer. Vasudeva was...
Wait. Okay. Let us do this, and let me see in this paragraph. So now, anyway, so he's taking the situation. Vasudeva is now becoming introspective. What should I do? Because he gave all the instruction and this guy was unmoved. He still was adamant. And you can understand he's holding his weapon and he's about to hit, and he's holding his hand of Kamsa, but he knows he's not as strong. Kamsa was very powerful. He said, I will not be able to fight with him, and he will kill my wife. So he thinks, okay, as my duty, I have to protect my wife because that's a duty as a husband. But let me use the best intelligence to avoid. But even if suppose I fail, at least I try sincerely, dutifully to do my duty. And then it's an idea. In the future, if I get a child who can kill Kamsa, as Kamsa is thinking and as Akashvani is, then anyway, everything will be saved because law of providence will work inconceivably. So let me save the present situation. Let me give him assurance now. So now it doesn't do anything. And later, if it is Akashvani is true, that somebody is going to born to kill him, that will happen. So he can't reverse it. Okay, so now let me save the situation. Okay. And then more philosophy is coming in the introspection, that it's like in a forest fire, one tree gets fired, the next tree gets fired. There is no, it looks like, it doesn't look like boom, 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 it's burning. So similarly, the kind of desires we're cultivating in our heart and mind, we don't know how many kind of bodies we're going to get. Just one body, another, one tree to another tree. Changing bodies can be compared to fire going from one tree to another tree. So we don't know which tree it will catch next, depends upon your desire, but very difficult for us to predict. An example is given of Bharat Maharaj. By chance at the time of death, he meditated on the body of deer and became a deer. Okay, so anyway, so this is situation, a bit philosophy, introspection, and now he's making a decision now. What is that? How to save a wise, began to speak to Kamsa with great respect, although Kamsa was the most sinful. Now somebody has to read this. Nupur Mataji, your turn. Sometimes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay. Sometimes it happens that most virtuous person like Vasudeva has to flatter a person like Kamsa, a most vicious person. This is the way of all diplomatic transactions. Although Vasudeva was deeply aggrieved, he presented himself outwardly as cheerful. He addressed the shameless Kamsa in that way because he was so atrocious. Vasudeva said to Kamsa, my dear brother-in-law, please consider that you have no danger from your sister. You are awaiting some danger because you have heard a prophetic voice in the sky. But the danger is to come from the sons of your sister who are not present now. And who knows, there may or may not be sons in the future. Considering all this, you are safe for the present, nor is there any cause of fear from your sister. If there are any sons born of her, I promise that I shall present all of them to you for the necessary action.
Correct.
You want me to continue?
This is easy to analyze. So he has used his intelligence dutifully. He wants to protect his wife, save the danger. And Prabhupada says that sometimes the law of nature is so bad, and we have to flatter the most vicious person. And that's what happens many times in preaching. We go to meet people, and it is so horrible, crazy people. We have to pay respect, give them garland. Sometimes we bring ministers from some function and garland. But for service to the Lord, devotee is ready to do anything. Okay. And anyway, he also understands is by the grace of the Lord, this person is in this powerful position. Okay. In that way, he does his job cheerfully. Externally, he's very cheerful, but internally, is deeply aggrieved. What can imagine his condition? But externally, he's showing himself very cheerful, so that sometimes trying to impress him. He doesn't want to show that actually he is planning something else inside. Actually, he's going to cheat him. Vasudeva did not deliver the last child. You know that? There's a difference between Krishna and Rama Leela. Krishna Leela, you see, many times Krishna also cheated. And Krishna's father also cheated. He never gave him the Krishna. Krishna he gave to Mother Yashoda. But Lord Rama Leela, all Dasharath gave 3 oaths and he fulfilled it. Even sending Lord Rama to the forest. And Lord Rama also was so virtuous. Somebody spoke about his wife, he sent her to the forest. But had somebody commented on Krishna, on any one of the 16,100 which he got from Bhaumasura, Krishna was cut the head. He did. So Krishna was acting like the Supreme Lord. And Lord Rama was acting like a Maryada Purushottam. The role he was playing was the Maryada Purushottam. Therefore, so anyway, but Vasudeva was very much known for his word. He said, see, now there is no danger. He was gave him logic to uphold. So now there is no danger. Danger is from the child, not from Devaki. Okay, and it's not, child is not coming now. We don't know whether it will come or not. If it comes, I give it to you, the child. And Vasudeva was known for the word, because Vedic time people were known for the word of honor. They're very, very virtuous. And he did give him his other children whom he killed. But when Krishna was born, something else happened. He cheated Kamsa. Yeah, continue, Mataji.
Kamsa knew the value of.
Oh, she's also out. I think she got a call. And out. Yes, who wants to continue? Manoj?
Yes, Prabhuji. Kansa knew the value of Vasudeva's word of honor, and he was convinced by his argument.
Mataji, continue.
Hello.
Kamsa knew.
Yeah. For the time being, he desisted from the heinous killing of his sister. Thus, Vasudeva was pleased and praised.
Kamsa
gave birth to 8 male children, as well as 1 daughter. When the first son was born, Vasudeva kept his word of honor and immediately brought the child before Kamsa. It is said that Vasudeva was very much elevated and famous for his word of honor, and he wanted to maintain his fame. Although it was very painful for Vasudeva.
Yeah, your voice is coming and going, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Our screen is on Samadhi. Manoj, you continue.
Although it was very painful for Vasudeva to hand over the newly born child, Kansa was very glad to receive him, but he became a little compassionate with the behavior of Vasudeva. This event is very exemplary for a great soul like Vasudeva. There is nothing considered to be painful in the course of discharging one's duty. A learned person like Vasudeva carries out his duties without hesitation. On the other hand, a demon like Kansa never hesitates in committing any abominable action. It is said, therefore, that a saintly person can tolerate all kinds of miserable conditions of life. A learned man can discharge his duties without awaiting favorable circumstances. A heinous person like Kansa can act in any sinful way, and a devotee can sacrifice everything to satisfy the Supreme Personality of God.
So
Kansa,
nice, no? So nice.
Yes.
A heinous person can do any sinful activity, and devotee can do anything to satisfy the Supreme Personality. Just like Kamsa is now, speaking so cheerfully to, Vasudeva is speaking so cheerfully to Kamsa to cool him down. Okay. So he started bringing handover. Kamsa was very glad, and he became a little compassionate. So Vasudeva could imagine the pain father will have to bring his child. Some of you are parents. How painful it will give the child. It will be unimaginable to give for death. But Vasudeva, he took out anything. But Kamsa could do anything to, to satisfy sinful desires. Yeah, continue, Manoj.
Kansa became satisfied by the action of Vasudeva. He was surprised to see Vasudeva keeping his promise and being compassionate upon him, and pleased. He began to speak as follows: "My dear Vasudeva, you need not present this child to me. I am not in danger from this child. I have heard that the 8th child born of you and Devaki will kill me. Why should I accept this child unnecessarily? You can take him back." When Vasudeva was returning home,
Kamsa became compassionate little. Okay, now what happens?
When Vasudeva was returning home with his firstborn child, although he was pleased by the behavior of Kansa, he could not believe in him because he knew that Kansa was uncontrolled. An atheistic person cannot be firm in his word of honor. One who cannot control the senses cannot be steady in his determination. The great politician Chanakya Pandit said, "Never put your trust in a diplomat or in a woman. Those who are addicted to unrestricted sense gratification can never be truthful, nor can they be trusted with any faith."
Okay.
At that
Let us
time,
understand. Just wait.
yeah.
Okay. He was pleased, but we cannot trust Kamsa. Why? The person who cannot control the senses cannot be firm in a determination. So we should strictly try. And how do you control the senses? There should be always an effort and parallelly chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. That will give you, and then you become a man of honor, man of word, and a determination. Okay? Never put a trust in a diplomat or a woman. Nupur Mataji killed me now. See, it is as it is. Oh, she is vanished. Chanakya says that. He said, never put a trust. Those addicted to unrestricted sense gratification, but not a devotee woman. This is referring to a normal woman who's addicted to. Hare Krishna, Nupur Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I thought you saw the statement of Chanakya and ran away. Never put your trust in a diplomat or a woman. This is basically referring to a woman who's, too much entangled in material affairs. She may not be enough. It doesn't refer to a devotee who's chanting. Okay. Basically, idea anybody addicted to unrestricted sense gratification cannot be truthful. It refers to general statement. It doesn't refer as such directly. But a diplomatic person, kings and all, are addicted to unrestricted sense gratification. And sometimes it is said ordinary woman who may be addicted to, generally mind is weak for a woman. So if she is devotee, she is very strong. Then she has overcome the difficulty. I remember in the movie, in the Senti scene, first my mother will cry immediately. The mind is very soft. So it can easily be degraded. But if the devotee is there, then she is very wonderful. Then there is not a question. Okay. At that time, the great sage Narada came to Kamsa. He was informed of the Kamsa's becoming compassionate to Vasudeva, returning his firstborn child. Now, continue. Who's going to read? Your voice was cutting that time. Now it's a signal going on and off. Whose signal has been steady? Who is this person? Rohan, your signal has been steady. Yeah. The very interesting thing now, we can read, Rohan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Narada was very anxious to accelerate the descent of Lord Krishna as soon as possible. He therefore informed Kamsa that personalities like Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherd men and girls and the wives of the cowherd men in Vrindavana, and on the other side Vasudeva, his father, Surasena, and all relatives born in the family of Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty were preparing for the appearance of the Lord. Narada warned Kamsa to be careful of the friends and well-wishers and all the demigods taking birth in those families. Kamsa and his friends and advisors were all demons. Demons are always afraid of demigods. After being thus informed by Narada about the appearance of the demigods in different families, Kamsa at once became alert. He understood that since the demigods had already appeared, Lord Vishnu must be coming soon. He at once arrested both his brother-in-law Vasudeva and Devaki and put them behind prison bars. Within the prison, shackled in iron chains, Vasudeva and Devaki gave birth to a male child year after year, and Kamsa, thinking of the babies to be incarnation of Vishnu, killed them one after the other. He was particularly afraid of the 8th child, but after the visit of Narada, he came to the conclusion that any child might be Krishna. Therefore, it was better to kill all the babies who took birth of Devaki and Vasudeva.
Yeah, enough. Why did Narada do this? Tell me, anybody can tell me the answer. Why did he do this? My God, he got all the children killed. Now one more para, we finished that. Anybody? Gaurav?
Yes, sir. I think you or Preeti Mataji told us in the class that he wanted Lord Krishna to descend as fast as possible. He basically, to give pleasure to his devotees. I mean, they were waiting for the Lord to appear. So just to accelerate it.
Yeah, accelerate the appearance. In fact, something similar it does to Ravana also. Ravana used to climb on the back of the Devatas and sit on his asana. So he wanted Lord Rama to come immediately. So what he did, he told Ravana, why on the back? On the face. Turn them around. So then Ravana used to climb his seat on their, putting his shoes on their face and all. So Lord Rama immediately descended. So it's not easy to understand. See, Narada is a pure devotee. And he's free also, but all touched by Yogamaya, they sweeten the pastime of the Lord. Okay. So, and another thing was that actually these 6 people were to die. These first six sons had a curse to die. In the previous birth, what were they?
They were
Who were the
demon.
6 people? Huh? Not demon. But they had a curse to die. They were not demons, but they had a situation. They had done some office. They laughed at Brahma. Brahma, once what happens when, Brahma, he's going to get married. Now, how he's going to get married? It has to be child only. It's an exceptional situation. True? You get married to Saraswati. You all know this, correct? And then what happens is that when she's born, Brahma runs after her. And so it's just funny. And at that time, the 6 sons start laughing. Oh, what? He's running after his daughter. So we should not laugh at great personalities. Anybody knows? Rohan, you read about this?
No, sir. No.
Okay, get me. Check. That's what I remember having heard. Please check. Next time, keep a note of this. Who were the 6 sons who were born previously?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. They had to die. So in one sense, Narada has not done any pain to them. See, nothing lamentable happens in Krishna's kingdom. Suppose now I decide to kill Gaurav, God forbid. I can't kill him unless his karma allows me to do. But then I am creating a karma. But he's just getting his karma. You got it? You understood the point? Suppose I want to slap somebody. Unless at the moment it deserves to be slapped, I can't slap him. Somebody will come and stop me. So, had there was no death for those children, they would not have died. Not that Narada can create death for them. That is not possible. He's just playing in the Lord's pastime and, he's acting at the same time that death was anyway ordained. Because in the previous birth, they had done something to deserve death. That we can analyze. As far as I remember, that was one instance. They laughed at Brahma. Brahma's position is very exalted. We should not try to measure. Okay? And this is the mistake they have done. You should be careful. And please get me. Other people also study. Who are these children? Type on the Google. Better.
Yeah, I'm just seeing this.
Oh, you already started. Okay. Check.
So
gave birth to a male child every year and comes out thinking babies to incarnation.
I'm posting the link. Yeah.
No, not posting the link. You tell me what it is.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So in the book Sri Hari Vamsa, 2nd chapter of Vishnu Parva, it is written that Hamsa, Suvikrama, Kratha, Damana, Ripu, Mardana, and Krodha Hanta, who are known as the Shad Garbha, are the sons of demon Kalanemi.
Okay. Oh, they are the sons of demon Kalanemi. No. Previous to that, they are Brahma sons. Anyway, then.
Yeah. So they performed intense austerities to worship the universal grandsire Brahma, unknown to their own grandfather Hiranyakashipu. Brahma, being satisfied with their extreme penances, granted them the boon of protection from death according to their prayers. Later, when Hiranyakashipu heard about this incident, he became enraged and said, "You have worshipped Brahma without letting me know. Thus, I have no affection for impudent people such as you. Your father himself will kill all of you. In your next life, all 6 of you will take birth in the womb of Devaki, and your father Kalanemi will be born as Kamsa. That very Kamsa will be your murderer. Due to this curse of Hiranyakashipu, they took birth in the womb of Devaki and they were killed by Kamsa."
Okay. But there is no previous birth. Check another.
Yeah, there is. Yes, in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, prior to this, they were all known by the names Smara, etc., and were the sons of Marichi Muni. They laughed after seeing the universal grandsire Brahma running after his own daughter. Due to this offense of looking down on a great personality, they had to take birth as demons.
Yes. Be careful.
They are Marichi Munis.
So there are some. Both are true. Both stories are connected now. Okay, na? So anyway, this was to happen. Not that what did Narada do? Poor fellow, he got them killed. He becomes the killer of the children. No. Narada knew what's happening. and he just wants to accelerate. He just participates with all pleasure in Krishna's pastime. Chalo. Now, who is going to read the last part? Manoj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This action of Kansa is not very difficult to understand. There are many instances in the history of the world of persons in the royal order who have killed father, brother, or a whole family and friends for the satisfaction of their ambitions. There is nothing astonishing about this, for the demoniac can kill anyone for their nefarious ambitions. Kansa was made aware of his previous birth by the grace of Narada. He learned that in his previous birth he was a demon of the name Kalanemi, and that he was killed by Vishnu. Having taken his birth in the Bhoja family, he decided to become the deadly enemy of the Yadu dynasty. Krishna was going to take birth in that family, and Kansa was very much afraid that he would be killed by Krishna, just as he was killed in his last birth. He first of all imprisoned his father Ugrasena because he was the chief king among the Yadu, Bhoja, and Andhaka dynasties, and he also occupied the kingdom of Surasena, Vasudeva's father. He declared himself the king of all such places. The sense Bhaktivedanta purport of first chapter of Krishna, Advent of Lord Krishna.
Okay, it's beautiful. Even we do Krishna book 3 times a week. Then in 1 month, 3 classes a week. Then there are 90 chapters. In 30 weeks, we'll finish. If we do 1 chapter at a time, then 90 chapters, 90 weeks, will take 2 years to finish. We just focus on Krishna book. I'm saying Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What do you say, Manoj? Friday, Saturday, Sunday works for you? No, na. For you, doesn't work.
Yeah,
Nupur Mataji also doesn't work this time. Isn't it, Mataji?
So you can select some important chapters from Krishna book.
Oh, no. Krishna book is so sweet. Okay, we will continue like this for Sunday night. Kamsa made away the previous by the grace of Narada. You see, Narada did not reveal what you said, Gaurav, that these are your own children to Kaladevi. You are Kaladevi, and these are your own children. And by the curse of Hiranyakashipu, you're going to kill your own children. He didn't reveal to that, correct?
Yes,
Otherwise, he not kill them. He will not kill his own children. He said, reveal one portion. He's carefully acting.
But then Krishna finally gets them back, no, to Devaki.
No, that is for a time, not permanently.
Okay.
That he can do. But Devaki wanted to see the children which were killed. As a mother, the mother cannot see the death of the children. Mother is in acute pain. So when she asked Krishna, I just wanted to see my children again. See, we will not understand that because we are not mothers. We don't understand that, correct?
Yes.
We don't have that idea, but ask a mother. She cannot bear that. She wants to see the children again once. So when Krishna comes back after from Mother Yashoda, he comes back, and after I think 8-10 years, something 10-12 years, he comes back and he kills Kamsa. After that is Vasudeva and Devaki. And later, when Devaki once said, "You are so wonderful, can do anything. Why don't you get me those children again for some time?" So those children come and she plays with them for some time. She's very affectionate. Krishna can do anything. So he got it. He got even the dead son of his guru, no?
Yes, sir.
He got him back fully. Here he got them for some time to Devaki. Thus ends the first chapter, Advent of Lord Krishna. Yes, Nupur Mataji, Hare Krishna. You're happy we had do the Krishna book?
Yes, I'm very happy. I don't want to miss one chapter also. I mean,
so we do the 1 chapter.
I don't know if it takes a long time to finish.
Yeah, other time will not, doesn't matter. Other time will not be suitable, correct? Krishna Gita, we took so many years.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Friday, Saturday I'm free.
We will see. Saturday may work out because for Manoj, does Saturday work out for you?
Your voice is getting cut.
My voice? My voice? Yeah. Manoj, Saturday works for you?
Prabhuji,
I cannot hear you still.
it should actually, but sometimes I get
Maybe
busy with
just
some
message
activities.
on the chat.
ठीक है. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
Hare
sir.
Krishna, Gaurav.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Okay. Everybody
Hare
prepare
Krishna.
nicely. You can see on my Facebook, if you're not there on a personal page, Namdas at Rediff. That is my personal page on Facebook. There I have put up this our kirtans today, temple kirtans. You can see. ठीक है Manoj.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.